Did you hear about the dog food recalls regarding potentially toxic levels of vitamin D earlier this year? Actually, it's now found that the vitamin D content of one of the ingredients was 2,900% higher than intended. And according to the FDA, this has been implicated in complaints of both sick dogs and also dogs that have actually died. Pretty crazy, right? This is something that could never happen if only whole foods were used. In this video, I'll share how this was even possible, how it could happen with almost any type of dog food, and how you may avoid anything like this happening to your dog by simply choosing a different way of feeding. Hi, I'm Ingunn, the Norwegian Viking behind Viking Dog Girl. I hold a certificate as pet food nutrition specialist, and I'm here every week sharing everything on dog nutrition, dog health, and lifestyle. And I do it the Viking way, which means no sugarcoating and no BS. I just give it to you straight so that you can help your dog be as healthy and happy as possible, and maybe even extend your dog's life. Now, how was it even possible for a dog food to contain so much more vitamin D than intended? Well, you see, a lot of dog foods, if not most dog foods, actually use something called premixes to add vitamins and minerals to dog food. You could look at premixes as a type of multivitamin supplement that may contain specific vitamins and or minerals in specific amounts. Dog food manufacturers may add these to dog food to try to ensure that our dogs get all the necessary nutrients. Now, this may sound like a good thing, though there are some big issues with this type of approach. Number one, digestion and absorption of nutrients in our dogs' bodies is a complex system, and nutrient supplements may make the nutrients unbalanced. Actually, the amount of one nutrient may directly affect the absorption of another nutrient in your dog's body. Adding a bunch of single nutrients in the form of a premix may interfere with the balance of nutrients that are already in the diet. And the second issue is that nutrients used in supplements may not be of the best form, and they may even be synthetic. The form of nutrients are very important. Some nutrients are much more bioavailable in certain forms, which basically means that our dogs can actually absorb and make use of those nutrients. And synthetic nutrients are simply not the same as natural nutrients. Do we really want our dogs to depend on synthetic nutrients? And is there even a need for premixes anyway? Nutrients in whole foods are naturally balanced. However, a lot of common dog food ingredients may be highly processed, and even the whole dog food itself may be highly processed. Like for instance, dry dog food, which has been through an extrusion process. And this kind of processing may damage the nutrients in the food to the point where nutrient supplements may even be required. However, in this case, what does that say about the food? Should we even be feeding that kind of food to our dogs? Doesn't sound very natural or healthy, does it? Also, ingredients that are commonly used in dog food may simply be nutrient poor or contain nutrients that are not really bioavailable to our dogs, because our dogs are not actually designed to eat and digest those type of foods. These ingredients may be cheap ingredients, though if they're not really nutritious and healthy to our dogs, I don't think we should be feeding them to our furry creatures every single day. Yet, this is one more reason why dog food manufacturers may be relying on premixes to even satisfy the minimum nutrient requirements for dogs. By the way, if you enjoy this kind of no BS, give it to you straight kind of content on dog nutrition, dog health, and lifestyle, then click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to follow my channel. And remember to follow me on Instagram at VikingIngunn. So, what happened to that dog food that contained so much more vitamin D than intended, possibly even toxic levels of vitamin D according to the FDA? According to a warning letter from the FDA to the premix manufacturer, the high levels of vitamin D were due to human operator error in blending of the premix used in the dog food. It looks like the person that was adding the ingredients of the premix got confused or didn't pay close enough attention to the specific ingredients and may have added vitamin D instead of another ingredient, and therefore messed up the vitamin D content of the premix. Remember, this premix actually contained more than 2,900% of the amount of vitamin D that it claimed to contain. According to the FDA warning letter, vitamin D is an essential nutrient that allows dogs to regulate the balance and retention of calcium and phosphorus. However, when high levels of vitamin D are consumed, excessive vitamin D is not excreted, but stored in fat tissue and the liver. The adverse health consequences of consuming excessive levels of vitamin D can lead to kidney failure and even death. Now, some may be wondering which dog food or which brand this premix was actually used in. Actually, it was mentioned in the FDA alert in the beginning, and it was one of the major dog food brands. However, I don't think that's too relevant because this was quite a while ago and the dog food was recalled. And the reason I don't want to focus on the brand is because this could happen to anyone using a premix. However, it could never happen if only whole foods are used. Whole foods already have a natural balance of nutrients. I mean, when eating whole foods, if we and our dogs eat the foods that we're naturally designed and attracted to eat, then that contains nutrients that are bioavailable to us, and we eat the foods in the ratios that are naturally found in nature, we pretty much don't need to think about nutrients at all, including single nutrients and whether these nutrients are actually balanced. I mean, how do you think we would have survived on this planet for this long if we would have had to think about single nutrients, like for instance vitamin D toxicity, when we didn't even know what a vitamin is for most of our existence? This potentially toxic levels of vitamin D happened because dog food manufacturers used something completely unnatural to feed our dogs, namely premixes. If you want to know if your dog's food contains a premix, you might want to check to see if there's a bunch of vitamins and minerals listed on the dog food ingredient list of your dog's food. They may not come from a premix, though the point here is the same. They are single nutrients added to the food. And there is no way of knowing when the next error in mixing these single nutrients may happen and other dogs may get hurt. Plus, of course, since this is not even natural, it's not only the potentially toxic levels due to errors that may hurt our dogs. Feeding something unnatural may hurt our dogs over time, even if we're not really aware of it. Now, if you're not so keen on feeding premixes and other unnatural ingredients and highly processed food to your dog, then you might want to consider feeding your dog a highly nutritious, all-natural diet instead in the form of a homemade diet. It's easier than you might think. Plus, dogs absolutely love food that's actually healthy to them. Feeding a homemade diet can be both simple and even take as little as 5 minutes on a day-to-day basis if you follow some simple steps. If you want to know more about feeding an all-natural homemade diet to your dog, then you might want to check out the Viking Dog Diet System. Based on science, this system shows you step-by-step how to feed a highly nutritious, all-natural, real food diet to your dog in a simple way, including meal examples and how to transition your dog. If you want to check it out, then head over to vikingdogdiet.com right now. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if so, then give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Give your beautiful dog a hug from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.